anyways, around Twin Lakes area, I had gotten there. So I saw him do that. I did. I rejuvenate. But he runs like, he doesn't run like right now. He runs like that. Yeah, well. They didn't have any, so I think I'm going to try again. Summer. Go there. So nice. Right, yeah. Yes. I may be wrong. I don't regret staying with him, but I regret not taking it. Yes. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I expect that. I think they were getting the one major but it's okay. It also
We call the, what day is today? The 20th of June, first day of summer. Blanchester Board of Education, call to order. Roll call.
Mr. Schonkweiler.
Here.
Mr. Faulkner.
Here.
Mr. Bando.
Here.
Mrs. Ledford. Here. Mr. Panetta.
Here. Please stand, join with me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our meeting agenda has been distributed. We have a motion to accept.
I'll move.
Thank you, John. Second. Thank you, Joe. Conversation. All right, ready to vote?
John.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Claire. Yes. Todd.
Yes.
Chuck.
Yes. Welcome, folks. Glad to have people out on a rather steamy Monday at the beginning of summer. We have 3 people who've asked. Just a reminder that we have 5 minutes allotted to any speaker who signs up at this point, and we'll give you that opportunity to address the board in order that they've signed up. Crystal Rice.
Hi, my name is Crystal Rice. I live at 414 Limerick Drive, Lynchburg, Ohio. My husband Rick Rice and I have open enrolled both of our children here, going on 6 years. And I have a question for our superintendent, Mr. Lynch. I want to ask you, when do you plan on posting for the position that Mr. O'Rourke resigned from?
I'm not planning on posting that position.
Okay, can you answer why is the position being dropped when he already had a full schedule?
When Mr. O'Rourke was hired, it's my understanding that we created a position for him. And looking at our 5-year forecast of $600,000 in deficit spending, not next year, but the following year, we got to start looking at ways in which we can reduce that. Also, his schedule was divided between the middle school and the high school with 3 periods each. And the middle school has been able to accommodate that so far, and I think the high school will be able to accommodate it as well.
So you looked at other alternatives to replace, it's affecting, from what I understand, 150 middle school and high school students that need to be rescheduled, and you've explored alternatives for these students?
My administrators at the middle school level have, and I've spoken with the guidance counselor at the high school. I know they're collaborating and working together as well.
Okay, so if I may, and I know I'm only 5 minutes, the problem I see with this is a couple things, and it affects my children directly, so this is why I'm asking this question. Lack of electives, lack of places to schedule our students. This will increase huge class sizes, which is not good for education, as we all know, and it eliminates choices for students such as my son. My ask is if you would consider to talk and discuss more with the board about this on trying to find a position that can accommodate the immediate effect on these 150 children that now are going to be displaced and possibly overloading an art class or a study hall that they didn't sign up for. And I was wondering if you could discuss that more with the board.
Yeah, I'd be happy to discuss it with the board. I do not think that the kids are going to still have the option. I mean, the issue that we're having is health, from what I gather from the administration. And they'll still be able to have that elective offered to them. I think we're looking at, and I just spoke with some administrators today, we're looking at providing that class online.
Okay.
We are going to a one-to-one initiative. Should reach that next year or the year after. And offering kids an opportunity to take a class online is something they're going to experience in the future if they continue to go on to college. And
Correct.
I'd like to get them to experience that. And the hurdle we have now is the health class, not so much the PE class as the health class. And we're considering offering that health class online.
At the high school level or the middle school?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're hoping that in 2 years that the middle school kids will have their health credit here at the middle school. So we're opening their schedule up more at the high school. This following year is going to be the tricky part, getting
Right.
those freshmen a health class. But keep in mind, they have 4 years really to get health. They don't have to pick it up their freshman year.
So you won't expect athletes to use their sports as an elective?
That's an option out there for kids. If you play in the band, if you play a sport, you can grant that as your PE class.
But if they don't want to and they want to take weightlifting, but it's not?
It shouldn't affect them.
Okay.
Jack taught 3 PE classes at the high school and 3 PE classes at the middle school. So we're trying to figure out those PE classes, and if we take our health teacher or our weightlifting teacher and pull them out to teach PE, then yeah, we're going to lose that weightlifting class, and we don't want to do that.
Okay.
So the option that we're looking at or discussing is an online health class.
Okay.
And, trying to offer that to all 8th graders this coming year. So when they enter high school, they will have enough credit.
Okay.
During the school day or?
Whatever if they want to work on the board or do it during the school day, it's up to them. That's the advantage of doing something online.
I just want to make sure I was clear on what you said. I didn't think Jack taught health.
No, he did not. He taught PE. But if we get somebody to take his PE class, we're going to have to pull them from a health class or a weightlifting class.
Okay. And that would be the online class? Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa Jones.
Yes, my name is Lisa Jones. I live at 800 East Center Street, and I wanted to ask our superintendent about the rubber mats at the intermediate school. How many were damaged, and what was the...
What rubber mats?
At the intermediate school playground.
Okay. I do not know how many were damaged.
Dave's over here.
Dave, where are you at? You're there. I didn't hear, but she want to know how many of the playground mats were damaged.
No idea. I mean, there were some damage, we pushed them into the pile. As a number, I have no idea.
Did we have enough replacement mats for them instead of...
No, we only had a skid of them up there from the original heads. That's all we had. There was like 30 or 40 on that skid.
So not enough for the repairs?
No.
The mats that were sold, do you know how much money we made off of them?
I can't even remember how much we charged.
$2 a piece.
$2 a piece?
Did you buy kit?
So I didn't get one, they got me $1 before.
Last number I heard was a little bit over $1,000.
I was gonna say right at $1,000, but I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Okay, and is the mulch safe and fine for handicapped kids in wheelchairs?
It's my understanding from Dave, it's the same mulch we put down equipment.
Yeah, the mulch we use, it's gotta be a special kind of mulch. It can't just be regular mulch. It's gotta be ADA approved mulch. And when you first put it down, it kind of coarse and everything, but over time it'll compact down where you can go a wheelchair over what else. And that will constantly get to kind of add to it, especially with the swing, but that's just been an ongoing maintenance for us. That's the cheapest alternative we can go to. Like when we wanted to do the basement down at Foot in the back playground on it, and look what we had there, it was almost $300,000 just for
For the rubber back there?
but just for equipment when we were gonna do that next year.
Yeah.
That was
Just for cost effective reasons?
Yeah, if you're not aware, Dave Fangmeyer is our buildings and grounds coordinator. And yes, Lisa, we did it because of cost effectiveness.
The mulch that we had at Allen High School parking lot was left over from the Putman project, right, from last
Yeah, we
season?
used some of that, we had to buy some extra too, because there wasn't
Yeah.
enough. We did have to add to.
Yeah, but what was left over from the last project, that covered the biggest part of this, didn't it?
Yeah, I think that was good.
So we're, making use of everything that we had.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vestal.
Good evening. I'm back. I live at 202 Bland Avenue in Blanchester, Ohio, and I've got a couple of questions. And these questions were brought to me by music booster parents. They've got some concerns, and they had a couple of things going on, so they wanted to ask the board and the superintendent as well. And again, this is coming from booster parents, not from me personally, so, but they are curious as if there's something against the music program in general. There's no money set in the budget for the music program at all, but yet, because the music boosters are actually financing their entire marching season, shows, and all of that. They receive nothing from the school district, and their impression is that this is a part of the school's curriculum because it is banned, but they're not receiving any kind of monies for it. So they have been out fundraising and doing this and doing that, and they've done a couple of really good things, and they're curious about that. They are curious because it's their belief that either the budget has either been cut or eliminated for the program, and recently there was a denial of an overnight stay of a Drum Corps International group. For those of you that do not know, the Drum Corps International group is an elite demonstration competition group that actually these are high school kids from all across the country and region that travel and perform shows, and they're judged. Now these are high school students as well. And basically what they would do here is they would come in here, they would spend the night in the auditorium, and then the rest of the day they're using the field out front, the football field, to practice and go over their routines, and then they would actually compete in another town. But as a thank you for us letting them use the facility just to crash and sleep, they would provide tickets to whomever wanted to go, up to 40 people, to go to their show. And they were kind of curious as to why that was canceled when it was allowed last year. And they feel that this is just a goodwill gesture to another group of students that are musically inclined, and now they're not allowed to be here, so now they're scrambling to try and find a place to rest, recover, and recoup, when they could have done that here. And it also places the band, some of the students feel that it places them in a bad light because, well, we can't go to Blanchester now, they've cut us out of that, we can't go there. So there's some hurt feelings regarding that issue. If you could elaborate on that, I would appreciate it, so I can go back to them and let them know what's going on with that.
I can address two. I'll defer to Darlene as far as the budget. I'm not too sure if the band's got a line item or not. The first question, as far as not thinking band is an important function of an activity of the student body. I've been in discussions with Mr. Wood late last week, today, and we are going to post tomorrow. He has requested two positions. He requested an assistant band director as a supplemental, as well as a percussion position, which is a supplemental. I've told him I'd be able to grant him one or the other, not both, but one or the other. He has chosen the percussion position, which we will post tomorrow. I think David Wood's doing an excellent job. I've shared that with him numerous times. I like the direction the band's going. I hear him out from outside my office in the fall time during the summer. Not that I'm a big musical guru, but I do like what I'm hearing and the way that he directs the kids. As far as the overnight stay, I think they're called the Blue Stars.
This particular group was the Blue
Yeah,
Stars.
and you are right, it's an elite group. And Mr. Wood has requested a rental stay for that group. I checked our board policy, and that group is considered a level 4 group, and a level 4 group, part of our policy says no overnight stays.
What part of that, so that I have an actual, okay, what makes them a level 4? Because they're a nonprofit organization, we know that. And they contribute to...
Glenn, off the top of my head, I'm not going to be able to answer that question, but if you want to come in and see me...
No, I'll email these questions to you, you can give me a better response on that as well.
Sure.
I've got another one here regarding, what exactly is the policy on school functions on Sundays? Are they allowed to do things on a Sunday? Are they not allowed to do things on Sunday?
Yes.
They are?
I believe so.
Because the understanding was that we were not allowed to do a fundraiser on a Sunday due to school board superintendent policy.
Let's get clarification. I'll answer that for you as well.
Okay.
The only issue I've had with Sunday has been Sunday contests, athletic contests. And, I can't remember, a couple years ago we had scheduled a Sunday game, and I had asked if we could try to not schedule games on Sunday. The kids need a break, parents need a break, administrators need a break. But, as far as fundraisers on a Sunday, do we have our mattress sale on Sunday?
No. The band had an opportunity to play the national anthem at Great American Ballpark before the game. And the Reds, try to get it on a Sunday because the ticket prices are cheaper. We actually had to get a Friday game, and the price essentially doubled. And in order for them to do it, they have to sell 400 tickets. So at double the price, it was an informal case study was done as well during this whole thing. And it was determined that because of the logistics on a Friday night, because it's a 7-10 game, everybody's working on Fridays, plus the fact that the double the price ticket, it became extremely difficult for them to meet the goal. So they would like, if something can be done, and if we can get some kind of stipulation stating that Sunday we can do this on a Sunday.
No one has approached me with regards to a band participating on a Sunday. And questioning, and me saying, no, you can't do it on a Sunday.
So were you told by someone directly that you guys couldn't do that on
Yes.
Sunday, or Mr. Wood?
Mr. Wood was told that he could not do it on Sunday.
Who was he told that by?
That I cannot confirm, and I cannot speak for him on it, but he did tell us that he was not allowed to do it on a Sunday.
Thank you.
Well, just, FYI, I'm married to an elementary music teacher, and I have a son who's a college music professor, so I'm not going to vote against funding. music programs.
Well,
and we'll fight for funding the program,
They,
so I know what we're doing.
it's just their observation, that's all.
Understood, and
That's all.
we'll double check the budget and see if there was anything deleted. I don't believe so, but we'll double check, and see what we can do.
There's never been any general fund money that has gone directly, I don't have any line item for that. It's within the building budget of the high school and the middle school, so it's up to those building principals to put money in that line item for their band.
Okay.
They were just awarded a nice foundation budget.
Well, that is true, but that is, although that is program altering funds, that is not, that's not gonna last. Because theoretically,
It's not forever.
no, theoretically, the music program could burn through that in 2 weeks if they truly wanted to. And that would be because they would buy all new instruments for the school, and it's gone. And the new uniforms that they got the fundraising for, that they did the fundraising for and got part of a grant or a generous gift was $25,000.
I need to call time, but if you will, get us those questions.
I will
We'll
get you
make
those
sure we
questions,
get
and I've got a couple
the
others that
best
I will
answer we
be
can do.
emailing each of you.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Okay, minutes. Do we have a motion to approve May 16th board minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Joe. Second? Thanks, Claire. I did not find any corrections. I didn't hear anybody else, so ready to vote?
Joe?
Yes.
Claire? Todd?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes. Mr. Bando, I know I've gotten some things, something's happening somewhere.
Legislative report is a good one. The federal government has approved additional funding for foster care parents to receive funding to the age of 21 for those students. As some of you know, some of you in the room, we do have a somewhat significant amount of foster students that are kind of transient in our population. And one problem is those students, their funding from the federal government stops at age 18. Some of those students are not all the way through high school at the age of 18. Unfortunately, they missed years of instruction or didn't start instruction on time. And a lot of times, depending on the ability of those taking care of them, once funding stops, then they're out on their own at age 18. And they're homeless or they're living with buddies or whatever. And so that is a nice advantage that we have, that the federal government now has approved that the funding will stay with those individuals for care to the age of 21. So that's a good thing. That's it.
Thank you, sir. There is no board business, so it goes to Mrs. Kastner.
Thank you. It is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 35-16 approving appropriation modifications and new funds.
We have a motion.
I move.
Thank you, John. Second? Claire says, second.
The appropriation modifications are just changes from the original budgets at the beginning of the year. The new funds are all, if you see the 9017, that means for next year, for fiscal year 17. And I've added the newest freshman incoming class. They will start fundraising probably. So that's what the new funds are.
Ready to vote?
John?
Yes.
Claire? Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
It is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 36-16 approving temporary appropriations for fiscal year 17.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Thank you, John. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Joe.
That is on your white paper that was in your packet. These are the budgets at the fund level to approve that I can start paying bills July 1st. We will have permanent appropriations to you. It has to be to you in September. And they don't change a whole lot from these, but come September, I have a little bit more information on each one, maybe a new grant, something like that. So these are approvals to get started, to start paying bills July 1.
Okay. Ready to vote? Okay.
John?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Claire? Chuck?
Yes.
It is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 37-16 16, approving final appropriations for fiscal year 16.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll move.
Thank you, John. Second. Hi, Claire. Thank you.
This is the one that I gave you tonight on the yellow long paper. The reason why I bring it tonight is this is everything that we have spent and every purchase order that is still hanging out there that we don't have an invoice for yet for the entire fiscal year. It's kind of interesting to look at this. I wait until the last minute to do it so that we can get every invoice that we have paid, because now we do not write any more checks, write any more purchase orders until July 1. If you notice on one that's a little different and is pretty large, the bond retirement, it usually never is $2 million. There is a reason for that. We refinanced our bond this year, so I had to do, even though I didn't get to see the money, I had to receipt it into my books when we sold the old bond off, and then I had to expend out the exact $2,055,000 to go out again for the new bond. I never saw any of the money. It did not go through our bank, but I have to show it on our books as a receipt of selling the old bond and an expenditure of buying the new bond. So that's why that number is
What it is.
quite a bit higher than what it usually is. It's usually around $350,000, $360,000. The rest of them are pretty standard from years past. There's not much different. So almost $21 million goes through with everything that's FFA, junior class, grants, general fund, everything. So a lot of dollars we deal with in here.
And we still pass our audit.
We
That's good.
do.
That's good.
We do.
Ready to vote? Okay.
John?
Yes.
Claire?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes. Mr. Lynch.
Thank you, Mr. Sean Weiler. It is recommended the following personnel be employed as listed, subject to maintaining appropriate certification, licensure, as well as satisfactory criminal records check, or whatever else in there necessary for employment. Number one, certified staffing. A, it is recommended the board approve a 2-year limited contract for Pandora McCarty as high school assistant principal beginning the 16-17 school year. Salary will be at step 0 of the high school assistant principal salary schedule.
Do we have a motion? Thank you, Jeff. Second. Second. Thank you, John. Brett, you got anything?
Yeah, just over 30 applicants applied for the position. The committee of 4 high school employees selected 3 candidates to return for a second interview and selected Ms. McCarty to be recommended as their next assistant principal. Pandy McCarty comes from the Clinton, Massey area, Clinton, Massey School District. She has lived in Clinton County for more than 25 years. She has 19 years of educational experience teaching elementary, middle school children, and college students as an adjunct professor at Wilmington College. She has served as an athletic director and has coached at the high school levels. She's earned her Bachelor of Science degree from Wilmington College and Master's degree in Educational Administration and Administrative Specialist in Curriculum, Instruction, and Professional Development, both from the University of Dayton. Her husband, Mike, who's here sitting in the back row, is owner of McCarty Gardens in Sabina. She has 2 children, Mia, 10, and Will, 7, and is very active in youth sports and her church.
Ready to vote? Then I have a comment after we vote.
Okay. Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Claire?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes. Mike,
Yes.
did your chest hurt when you put on a Blanchester Wildcat shirt?
Well, unfortunately for you, you get all of us.
And that's
If that's what we got, I guess if you're willing to wear the shirt, you're part of us now, so.
Look at it.
It looks good on you, it does.
welcome to
Welcome.
Welcome to Blanchester.
And that was the same comment Pandy answered when we asked her. Moving on to letter B, congratulations, by the way. Letter B, it is recommended the board approve a one-year limited contract for Ross Tinney as intermediate and middle school art teacher. Beginning 16-17 school year, salary will be a bachelor's at step 0 of the teacher's salary scale.
We have a motion to approve. Do you like her?
I move.
John, thank you. Did you second? Claire did. Okay.
Ross spent the latter half of last year as our intermediate school and middle school art teacher. He has faithfully served his role as an art teacher and comes recommended by Mr. King to continue working in our district.
Let's vote.
John?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Letter C, it is recommended the board approve the Shannon Levin for 5 extended time for the 2016-17 school year.
You have a motion?
I have a question on this.
We have a motion.
Let's get the motion.
Let's get the motion.
I don't want to do the motion. I have a question first.
Well, we have to have a motion before we have discussion.
Well, but we were supposed to have further information on this and we didn't get it.
Let's get a motion.
We have to have a motion before we can discuss.
I'll move.
Thank you, John. Second.
Second.
Joe, okay. Now it's appropriate for discussion.
Well, I was under the impression we were getting more information to discuss this. Before we move it down to 5 instead of 10.
I was not aware of that additional information, and you and I spoke about that, and I thought that was the understanding that we would have.
I was under the understanding we would have more information. We would have a description of what was going on, and how many students were involved.
I'm not aware of that. I will say that this is a reduction from 10 days, saving the district about $1,600. The Board of Education initially approved 5 extended days for the library in the spring of 2007 and 2008 school year.
I think we need to discuss this further before we vote on it.
Just ask, are you ready to vote?
We voting to discuss it?
No, I asked if we're ready to vote on the motion that's before us.
I'm not ready to vote because I want more information.
You are 1 of 5, and I asked if the rest of the board were ready to vote.
But the best.
That way every week, Todd.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Roll call, please.
John?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Todd?
No.
Chuck?
Yes.
Letter D, it is recommended that the board approve a 2-year contract for Kristen Umbershaw as special education supervisor, beginning the 2016-17 school year. Salary will be at step 3 of the special education supervisor salary schedule.
We have a motion. Thank you, Claire. Second.
I'll second.
Thanks, John.
11 candidates applied for the position. The interviewing committee of building administrators and a representative from the Southern Ohio ESC has selected Kristen to be recommended as the district special education supervisor. Kristen's been in our district as a high school intervention specialist since 2007. I'm encouraged that Kristen desires to join our administrative team. As a former special education teacher and administrator, I'm looking forward to meeting her as she learns and grows in her new position as a district supervisor.
Great. Roll call.
Claire? Yes. John?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Letter E is recommended the board approve Sherry Simmerman as intervention specialist at the intermediate school, beginning the 2016-17 school year. Salary will be at 150 hours, step 4 of the teacher's salary schedule.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Joe. Second. I will.
Sherry is recommended by Mrs. Goodrich and has received the blessing of Chris Branson. Sherry will be leading our new autism unit here in the district to serve our growing population of autism children at the elementary levels.
Ready to vote?
Joe?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Todd?
Yep.
Claire? Yes. John?
Yeah.
Letter F, it is recommended the board approve the resignation of Jack O'Rourke at the end of the 2015-16 school year.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank Joe, second. Claire's got it, second.
Coach Work has accepted a position with Hillsborough City Schools as an educator and their next head football coach. It doesn't surprise me he has found a coaching position in the area. He has been a good coach and, more important, an excellent individual while with us. I wish him the very best at Hillsborough High School.
Let's vote.
Joe?
Yes.
Claire? John?
Yes.
Todd?
Yep.
Chuck?
Yes.
Classified staffing, number 2. If the board doesn't mind, we'll put together consensus A and B on this. A, it is recommended that the following be approved for a 1-year supplemental contract beginning the 2016-17 school year. Greg Coomer, assistant varsity football, step 3. Jim Collier, assistant varsity football at 50% or a half, step 3. Brian Danewood, assistant varsity football coach, half, step 3. Sean Mowry, assistant varsity football coach, half, step 3. TJ East, assistant varsity football coach, half, step 3. Dan Peters, middle school football coach, step 1. Josh Creekmore, middle school football, step 3. And letter B, it is recommended the following be approved as classified substitutes: Mamie Reed, Shelby Stroud, and Tammy Christopher.
Okay, do we have a motion for all these folks?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, John. Second.
I'll second.
Thanks, Joe. Let's vote.
John?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yep.
Claire? Chuck?
Yes.
Number 3, it is recommended the board adopt resolution number 3816, authorizing participation in the federal free and reduced price breakfast and lunch program for the 2016-17 school year. Participation in these programs make our district eligible for commodity foods and federal reimbursement. The program also helps students with breakfasts and lunches based upon their ability to pay. Lunch prices for the 2016-17 school year will be grades K through 5, $2.75, grades 6 through 12, $3.
We have a motion.
I'll move.
Okay, down here. John and Claire. Let's vote.
John?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Todd?
Yep.
Joe?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Number 4, it is recommended the board adopt resolution number 3916, entering into an agreement with WCET-TV for all instructional television services provided for the 2016-17 school year at no cost to our district, as this is state funded.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll make the
Thanks,
motion.
Joe. Second.
Second.
Thanks, John. Let's vote.
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Chuck?
Yes.
And number 5, it is recommended the board approve David Salmons as volunteer football coach.
Okay, do we have a motion? I'll move. Thanks, Todd. Second.
I'll second.
Thanks, John. You say anything about the elder Mr. Sands?
Brandon's father, who has assisted him in his previous school district as well, and wants to continue helping out here in Blanchester.
Great. Let's vote.
Todd?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Number 10, discussion items, real quickly. Our science curriculum, the last time we had adopted a science curriculum was 10 years ago. Not surprisingly, the new science curriculum comes along with a strong technology component. Beginning this fall, the Social Studies Department will be looking at adopting their new curriculum. No questions with the science curriculum. Move on to summer work. Summer work has begun throughout the district. I think you'll see people asphalting the driveways, crack filling asphalt, replacing middle school doors, which by the way look very, very nice, and cleaning up the ditch line behind the visitors' bleachers at our athletic facilities. Keep in mind, all of this work is being paid out of our permanent improvement funds, not general fund dollars. Third grade reading guarantee scores. Preliminary reports are showing our K-3 literacy grade is holding steady at a letter grade of a B. And that's approximately 3.2% of our students need to retake and pass the assessment this summer to move on to the 4th grade.
And that gets us a B.
And that gets us a B.
Okay.
Yeah. This reflects what the teachers and staff at Footman Elementary are doing is very, very successful. Administrators, the administrative team here in the district had an opportunity to go to Columbus to an Educators Connect for Success conference. 5 administrators from the district attended the 2-day conference in Columbus, Ohio, at the Ohio Union on Ohio State's campus last Monday and Tuesday. Other than Amy Shaljo, during casual conversations, saying words such as Ann Arbor, Big Blue, and or Michigan, it was quite a comfortable conference. The conference was sponsored by Battelle for Kids and the Buckeye Association of Administrators. It was refreshing to spend time with the administrative team, see former colleagues throughout the state, soak in many of the learning sessions throughout the day. And on behalf of the administrative team, I want to thank the Board of Education for allowing us to attend the conference. And finally, the safety plans. This has been a very cumbersome experience with the Ohio Department of Education for the last little over a year, I would say 13, 14 months. But I am pleased to report that to the board that all of our buildings are in compliance with the ODE safety plans. The process, as I said, has been cumbersome. The administrative team attended meetings with ODE, made the necessary changes, submitted our plans, only to find out that they were still not in compliance due to changes at the state level, as many of the districts across the state were. But nevertheless, we are now compliant, and I would really like to thank all the principals for their patience and their efforts during this process. It was very time-consuming and taxing on all of us, so I'm glad that's done.
How about Kurt? Can I ask a question about that? Are the cameras going to be working at the buildings eventually, or?
We've got we're in discussions with cameras as far as our capital layout, capital improvement plan. That's a discussion that's on the table. That is not part of the safety plan.
Cameras from the school board? I mean, I
with regards to ODE and what they, for us to be in compliant, they
don't require cameras.
Our biggest issue is our floor plans. We had to contact our architect and have them come out and measure and draw up floor plans for us. Some of you may know this Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta plans that need to be a certain way. So that was our big hang up.
So the cameras probably not for this coming school year?
Oh no, not for this coming school year, but it is on the table as part of the discussion.
Would it be possible for members of the community to be involved in that discussion regarding the cameras? Because there are some of us that have extensive knowledge of camera systems and how they operate.
Be fine with me. Mr. Bowen, our technology coordinator, is really spearheading that. I would want to get his blessing.
Okay. Is the system IP based or is it still analog?
Don't ask him, computer technology questions. That's Kurt's field, so we let Kurt handle that.
Mr. Lynch, in regards to that, with respect, I would like to be involved with that because as I said, I have extensive knowledge with that technology and how it operates.
Noted.
Okay.
So that we're not being wasteful.
Kurt's done a lot to move us into, our phones IP-based, our Bell system's all IP-based, so we've moved a lot of that in that direction.
I'll ask Mr. Bowen.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just have to say, I don't think Mr. Bowen is wasteful with the money.
No.
No, not at all.
He has been instrumental in replacing our phone system, our communication system here in the buildings, going one-to-one and bandwidths. I mean, he's been, no, he's not. He doesn't waste me.
Can I ask just a quick question? Do you know how long the cameras have been inoperative?
For about 10 years.
What?
10 years.
And how long is this going to stay on the table before this?
It was brought up in a meeting this school year.
It is part of the tech, it is part of what the technology committee is dealing with in this current school year.
But,
And Mr. Boland is working on it.
but is there a projection as far as when you anticipate them actually being something more than just a table item?
I have no idea how long it takes for them to be installed, for us to receive them.
But has it been approved that that the work can be started?
No, I asked the question, what's our needs? Our needs are cameras. That's about where we're at. The process has started. Okay. The check scam. This was interesting. News throughout the country. So I'm going to turn that over to Darlene.
Just to let the board know what's going on and the folks here, because I don't want anybody to get in the middle of this. The school is in the middle of a check writing scam. We are not writing the checks, I don't mean that. We had a call on June 1st from a lady in Cleveland, and she wanted to know why we wrote her a check for $1,500 for her drinking glasses that she had for sale on the app Let Go. And my first thought was, okay, who's buying drinking glasses off an app named Let Go? Well, when we got to asking her questions about the check and what it looked like and this, that, and the other, the check number was a check that was written for a wrestling tournament back in December. So we thought, oh, we've got an issue here. We send checks out to pay bills all over the country, so we have no idea where someone got our bank account number and bank's routing number, but they have been putting them on checks. They've been telling people on the Let Go website, you know, here's a check for $1,500. Keep your $50 out of there for your drinking glasses, your stereo, whatever. Keep another $50 for your trouble, and send me the other $1,400 to an address in Colorado Springs. And believe it or not, we've had 10 people try to cash those checks. Now, we have not lost one red cent. First National Bank of Blanchester has been absolutely wonderful. They were getting calls from people. We have talked to people from West Virginia, Maryland, Illinois, Michigan, Texas, Florida, North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho. Very nice people all over the country that have called and said, this doesn't sound right. And we're like, it's not, it's not. Just so you know, this is what our blank checks look like. Literally blank blue paper. They do not become a check until they come out of our printer. So we have not had any checks stolen, like a checkbook or anything of that sort. They've simply taken our information, the bank's routing number, our account number, and put it on checks. I've got copies. They don't even look alike. The checks look different. You can see what one of ours looks like that has my signature, and I don't know who Robert is, but he signed the other ones. So we don't know how many of these were sent out. They were sent out overnight by United Marshal Service from Baltimore, Maryland, to people all over the country via the Let Go website. We have not lost a penny. The bank is hand posting every check. They are calling us. We are giving them an update each day on what checks are, ours. They're doing a great job. It has slowed down quite a bit. I think once they find out they're not going to get anything, then they go to somebody else's account number or routing number. So it's been very interesting. We have people say, I've got their name, I've got their phone number. Well, that's not their name. It's not their phone number. People have tried to help. They really have. They've been super nice about it. We have filed a police report. I don't think there's any way we're going to be able to catch whoever it is. The Better Business Bureau in Cincinnati got a call from someone about this, saying, you might want to make this school aware. We were already aware, but they called me and they have sent out a press release to all Better Business Bureaus in the country, warning of this. So we've got a big help from them. And the bank has just been, like I said, absolutely wonderful about helping us out and so forth. I questioned, do we need to close that account and open a new account? And really, it makes sense. There's no sense in doing that because every check that you send out to anybody has your routing number and your account number on the bottom of it. So who got it? We have no idea. Somebody working in a check processing place for whoever. But we did not have any breach of our checks. If they want this, they can have this. It's not going to do them much good. They're going to have to come up with the printing of it. So, but 10 people have tried to cash the checks there. They range in amounts anywhere. I think the lowest one was $800 up to $2,000. So they're not $30, $40, $50 checks. But 10 people have cashed them. I'd like to know whether they sent money on or they just kept the whole $1,500. But it bounced back to them, so they're going to have to come up with that money they got when they cashed the check. So
We have not lost any money from the.
no, we have not lost any money at all. Our bank has not lost any money. It's just been a little time and aggravation, but there's been no money lost. Since there has not been any money lost, that's where getting more involved in the police looking into it and that kind of thing basically can't happen because we haven't been a victim of anything other than some aggravation.
You know, the victims would be the people.
Would be the folks,
lost
and then
money.
they have to file something.
If
where
they
they're-
forwarded money, they lost it.
Yeah. So just an update. It has calmed down quite a bit since June 1st, but we were extremely confused and had no clue at first what was going on. And like I say, the bank has just been wonderful in working with us. So we've learned a lot.
Too much fun.
Informational items, you've got your financial reports, cash reconciliation reports, and investment reports that you review. Number 4, July 13th, I'd like to have a special board meeting, just a work session with the board. The time, we're looking at probably 10 to 2, probably with the working lunch, and the place I have yet to determine. July 5th, or number 5, July 18th, our next regular board meeting in the middle school here, cafeteria at 7:30. And executive session, if the board would like to go into executive session to consider employment of a public employee, that could, if not, that's fine.
That's the end of our agenda.
No executive.
Motion to adjourn or motion to move, please.
Is there any way, I just wanted to state on record that I'm so sad and embarrassed and ashamed that Todd was pushed aside and all he did was ask you to table a decision just for a little while until next month. It looks very unprofessional.
But first of all, no, we didn't rule Todd out. He didn't ask for a table. He just asked for discussion. He didn't ask for the table.
No.
He asked for more information, which
Yeah.
takes time to get, so he didn't use the right word.
I'm moving to go into executive session to discuss it. So,
Okay.
thank you.
I just wanted to go on record just saying.
Yes.
May I ask, why isn't the board, why don't they record this meeting? Every board member should be mic'd so we can hear the beginner and so we can have an accurate accounting of the minutes.
You may answer that. Well, I'm still waiting for a motion, so.
I motion for executive session.
Oh, by the way,
I'll second it.
I want to discuss 1C.
Common courtesy is
In
not.
executive session, maybe you could discuss why people are being replaced by online classes. That's a big concern to me, why we would replace our staff with computers.
Yeah, we have had a motion and a second to move into executive session.
I motion for executive session.
To discuss personnel issues.
Personnel issue.
Todd,
Yes, executive session.
John,
Yes.
Claire, Joe,
Yes.
Chuck.
Yes. 22.
adjourning straight from executive session?
What?
Are you adjourning straight from
We
executive?
will adjourn right before we take any action. We will adjourn from executive session.
I'm not talking.